Hello everyone and welcome to Big OGGIE Golf. In today's video I'm at West Cornwall Golf Club, but I'm not here to play golf. I'm here to get fitted for some golf shoes. Now in recent years that's just been the bastion of professionals, but nowadays everyone can do it. I looked online and saw the FOOTJOY custom fitting system and it seemed a really good idea. So today they have a fitting day here at West Cornwall. So let's go and take a look and see what happens.
Hello Ben, nice to meet you.
Hi. Okay, my name is John.
John,
most people
brilliant.
call me Big OGGIE.
Right,
You can see
yeah.
from the shirt. Okay.
Brilliant.
I've been playing about 6 or 7 months,
Yeah.
and I recently got my handicap, and I'm getting custom fitted clubs. And I saw the advertisement at the local club here about custom fitting shoes. At the moment my shoes are size 13.
Okay.
And when I've looked before online, the various companies, everything kind of goes to a 12, and then you think you can't find anything.
Yeah.
So all I did was basically try and find anything that fitted. So
yeah, I mean that's basically what a lot of people do wrong. Yeah, people are buying bigger shoes to accommodate high-end steps, wide feet, and that's not the right way to do. That's if you go into a shoe shop in town, you can't get different width shoes. I've experienced you can't buy half size in some kind of big kind of shoe shops. So,
yeah, I think to be honest, the last time I ever got measured for any kind of shoe was when I was in school. Yeah, and you got the usual Clark's fit in. And,
yeah, I mean I hear that on a daily basis. I say, when was the last time you fitted for golf shoes? 99% of the time people say never, and that's all. What about normal shoes? When I was back at school, which could be kind of some kind of time ago. So it's kind of like, well, how do you know you're wearing the right size then? Yeah,
we always guess. We always think, I take this in a normal dress shoe, so yeah. Bit bigger maybe.
Yeah, and a casual shoe it's a casual shoe, so you can wear that slightly on the bigger side. Sure. Whereas a golf shoe, you want that to be kind of a nice kind of snug fit. It needs to be kind of hugging your foot for that performance, and that element of that performance really, because you're walking on a golf course which is undulating. Sure. It's wet a lot of the time in this country.
That was one of the things that certainly caught me out when I first went onto a course. I didn't realise how undulating they really are. Yeah. You see them on TV and you think they're all nice and flat. Yeah. So a golf shoe is designed for a reason, to kind of give you that optimum, one, comfort, and two, support, and grip. Okay. So it's going to hopefully improve your game. So that's why we're offering this kind of program. 70% of golfers wear the wrong size golf shoes. That's a stat which we've kind of from research. So it's just trying to get the message out there to kind of get people educated. The fittings, are they all kind of really for all the different shoes? Or
yeah, so the process we'll put you through is we'll measure your feet with the brannock device. Okay. We'll take some measurements. We'll then get some shoes on your feet, get you fit into the right size. Yeah. And then we can then start talking about different styles of shoes. So you've got spikeless shoes, you've got spike shoes, you've got shoes which are very mobile, shoes which are very stable. And yeah, it's important we get you in the right style of shoe for your game, as well as getting you in the right size. So we can move on to that after we've got you in the right size. We can then get you in the right style of shoe.
Wonderful. Right.
All right. Okay, John, if you want to whip your trainers off for me. Are these the socks you wear when you normally play golf?
They tend to be, yeah, normal, at the moment, just normal sports type socks, really.
We would recommend wearing a golf sock. Okay. FOOTJOY offer golf specific socks. All the fibres in these socks are hollow. Okay. So they're very much about moisture wicking, about comfort, support. Okay.
I do tend to find, even with sports socks you buy from a sports shop, they do tend to get really hot, and
so your feet will get quite sweaty. Yeah. Wearing a FOOTJOY golf sock, that hopefully won't happen. It draws all the moisture away from your feet, and it will improve the comfort. And again, they're all cushioned in the right place, so you're going to improve all that comfort. And when you're walking on the golf course, hopefully you shouldn't get any kind of slipping, any blistering. Cool. Okay, so if you want to whip your socks off for me as well. Yep. Okay, so we're going to take some measurements with this. This is called a brannock. It's been around for a long time. Very simple process, measuring feet. I would say it is just a guide. It's not set in stone. Okay, so we're going to take some basic measurements. Then we need to get some shoes on your feet and get a true fit that way. Okay. So I'm going to measure length of your feet. Yep. Width, and this is going to measure flex points. That's the length of your arch. So, John, you're telling me what you've been wearing a 13. Yep. Okay. So foot and 11. Again, don't forget this, we're only measuring just basic measurements here. It doesn't allow for volume of your foot as well.
Okay.
So that's something which we need to take into consideration. So like say if you've got a very high end step, which you have, putting on that size 11 might feel slightly tight. So that's why we...
the ones you kind of pull on, and they're almost like a wetsuit kind of thing when they grip. I couldn't get them on. So that was
that'd be because of this kind of high end step. So the first thing people will do wrong is they'll think that shoe's too small, take it off, and they'll buy a bigger shoe. Whereas I think we'll need to be getting you into more of a wider fitting shoe than a different length shoe. Great, let's do your right foot then, John. Okay, so that's interesting. That foot's bigger. So that's a 12.
But then most people have one foot bigger than the other, I tend to find, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of people have one foot slightly bigger than the other. So again, we'll get plenty of shoes out, we'll try them all on, and it might be a case of maybe going down our MyJoys route, where you can design a pair of shoes yourself in different. You can have one shoe bigger than the other, or different widths.
Yeah, I did take a quick look at the website today about that.
Yeah,
it's quite an interesting.
Yeah, it's very popular. Again, that's something else which we offer as a brand. Is you can custom make your own shoes now. So, like I said, we've measured the length of your feet, width, and like I said, we're going to measure kind of the length of your arch from the back of your foot right through to where the knuckle of your kind of big toe is here. So that's where your feet bend. Okay, so your foot length on your left was a size 11, and your arch length was exactly the same 11. Okay, so all our shoes have got Optiflex here. Okay, so that's where the shoe bends. Okay, so it's important where the knuckle of your foot is that you're in line with this part of the shoe. Okay, if you're not in line with that, again, where that shoe's then bending, that can create some kind of problems. If you've got like an extended arch, that means the arch is going to be a little bit further up the shoe here. It might feel a little bit tight. So again, that's why people might buy a bigger shoe. Again, wouldn't do that. I'd buy just go for that slightly wider width. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So let's get some shoes on your feet. So we're going to go those 11s to start with in a medium width. Okay. Now I personally think these might feel a little bit kind of tight. Because of the shape of your foot.
It's interesting you say medium width, because I've always assumed I was wide fitting. And to me that feels
a little bit tight.
It's grip.
Good.
Like that, really. So
a key word we use is comfortably snug. It might feel a bit tight to start with. When we get you to stand up, your foot will actually slide down the shoe a bit more, and that tightness should go. But we'll get them both on. Get them done up. I'll have a good feel of your feet, and we can kind of then go from there. So this is going to be a good kind of starting point. So John, this shoe's telling me it's not wide enough for you. Okay, this is a dry joy tool. It's been in the range for over 30 years, and it's uses the V-throat lace system. Okay, now we use what we call the rule of thumb. We set a thumb's width at the top of the shoe. Okay, now that's obviously wider than a thumb's width, so that's telling me that shoe's not been pulled in enough. Okay, if the shoe gets pulled in too much here, again, that's too wide for you. Okay. All right. So I don't think they're any good, even though they're the right size and length. I think. Because of the shape of your foot, because you've got that deep foot. I don't think that's going to be great. So if you stand up for me, so lengthwise you think they're pretty good.
But that's interesting. Like you said, when you stand up, suddenly your foot moves.
And so like you slide down into the shoe.
A bit better.
But
there's still this.
I mean,
issue at the top.
You're completely filling that shoe, which is good. So again, where your knuckle is, that's about here. So you're in the right place in the shoe. You're in line with that kind of flex zone, which we talked about earlier. Again, you're completely filling about just across here. It's just a little bit kind of tight for my liking. It's probably gone past comfortably snug. Would you agree?
It's supporting, but it's gripping a little bit too tight.
Okay, just have a little wander around and just tell me how that feels, kind of lengthwise. Any slipping at all, or?
No, we're not getting any.
So not too tight. Your toes aren't kind of too tight at the end. They feel pretty good.
No, I feel I can actually move them.
Well, which is interesting because we've actually got you down 2 sizes now, from a 13.
It's just
down to an 11.
A really strange thing. Certainly being a relative new golfer. I don't actually know what my feet should feel like walking around a course. No, you kind of always assume you have to be in a comfortable pair of trainers. And they're a little bit loose and give everywhere.
It's not only you. I mean, it's about educating everybody out there.
This is a bit like being fitted for a mounting boot or something where you're climbing.
Yeah,
you need to make sure.
I always refer it back to kind of ski boots. Yeah. If you've ever been skiing, you get fitted for ski boots, and they need to be pretty tight to a degree. You don't need any movement in that boot because one, if you're moving in that boot, which is plastic, it's going to cause you some rubbing, which is going to cause you some blisters, some pain. And also, if you're kind of going down a mountain and your feet are moving inside those ski boots, you're trying to steer those skis, so your feet are moving, but the skis aren't going to be moving, so you're going to be losing kind of that kind of control, which you kind of talked about in the golf shoes. So it's very kind of similar kind of concept to these ski boots. They need to feel, like I say, not tight. We don't want a tight fit because that's going to be uncomfortable, but they need to be, let's say, comfortably snug.
Yeah,
hugging your feet all round.
Walking around them, they do feel like they grip all round, all over. And certainly when I've been on the course, when I've been walking with my the other shoes, they kind of slop in and out a little bit. And when you're going up and down those undulating pieces, you feel that you're not very comfortable. You feel a bit uneasy when you're going to hit an awkward shot. You might fall over, or you feel like you're going off balance. Yeah, definitely. These really do feel like they grip the ground and hold you. Yeah, I mean,
if you take, we've got a bank here. Like, I mean, if you're stood on the side of a bank here, and your feet are moving around in a shoe, I mean, if you put a size 13 back on your feet, you're going to suddenly think, actually, I can feel my, you're going to be moving around. So you're, again, going back to your feet, trying to kind of grip the ground.
This is really like the shoe moves with your foot. It's not the shoe moves independently to your foot. This is, they're all together.
Good.
And that feels safe.
That's what we want. Yeah. Okay, so let's get you back in the tent. Okay. Let's try some different widths on. So we've established the right size and length. Yeah. We now just need to get the width right.
Okay.
So we've gone up to a wide width now. Do you hear that noise?
Yeah, immediately you get that.
Yeah, you get that kind of, we call that the whoosh.
Whoosh.
Okay, yeah, we call it the FOOTJOY whoosh. So if you get that whoosh noise, it means you're squeezing out the shoe properly, and that's the sound of a perfect fit.
Yeah.
We didn't really get that with that one because it's a little bit probably on the tight side. You won't get it also with a shoe which is too big because there's a lot of space in there. You won't get that kind of whoosh. Sure. Whereas if you're squeezing out the shoe properly, you're going to get that nice kind of sound.
Now immediately these feel more comfortable.
Yep,
Just put them onto the position here, they feel more comfortable.
Yeah, sure, okay.
But you still got that lovely grip, that lovely firm grip all round, but now I'm getting more comfort.
You're getting more comfort across the top. Good, that's what we were trying to achieve.
Yep.
So again, can you see that we're getting more like a thumb's width now at the top?
Yes, yes.
Here, there we go, that's a lot better, whereas in the medium widths, that was quite wide. We're kind of getting you down. Now, again, our shoe ranges, we do offer different shaped lace systems. So we've got the V-throat here. We do a U-throat shoe. Majority of our shoes are on a U-throat, so it might be a recommendation to wear more of a U-throat lace shoe, like what I've got on here in the Pro SLs.
Yeah.
Okay. So both lines here are parallel.
Yeah,
it might offer you a little bit more kind of room.
Yeah.
Across here for you, so this might not be a great style for your foot shape.
Sure, I'm thinking the Pro SL are more my style, just because you know, when you look at shoes, you either like some or you don't.
Yeah, definitely.
This is more of a classic, to me, like an old-fashioned style, and like you said, they've been going for many years. Yeah. And it doesn't suit me. Yeah. And so
I mean, the dry joy's been in the range for a very long time. It has evolved quite a lot. It's probably one of our most technically advanced shoes, which we do with the leather we use, the sole system.
But it's a classic style.
But it's so it's in that very stable classic shape shoe, which is still very popular.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so John, if you just want to stand up for me, let's have a feel of your feet there. See if it's still. Yep. So that's still kind of. See, we can't pinch any of this leather up.
No.
You're completely filling that shoe. Again, if we can pinch a lot of this kind of leather up off the top of the shoe here, if you can see here, that's going to create. See what happens here, the shoe? A lot of creasing, a lot of bunching, and that's a prime sign of a shoe which is too big. If you get a lot of creasing across your shoes or bunching like this, okay, they're going to crease and crack.
Yep.
And you see how the shoe bunches out at the side here? That's when the shoe, the leather on top will be then forced away from the sole, and that's when your shoes will start to leak.
That's when they get damaged. Okay.
So that's ultimately over time. You're wearing the shoes which are too big, they're going to misshape quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's going to split away from the sole here, and that's when they're going to start to leak.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So they feel an awful lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
The other ones are comfortable, but this really feels like it's gripping over the top of my foot now. Okay. As well. So
we kind of talked about one foot was slightly bigger than the other. Yeah. Can you notice that much in those, or do they feel pretty good as a pair? Have a little kind of wander around.
Say they feel pretty good as a pair.
Yeah, I mean, I generally think if you've got one foot which is half a size bigger or smaller than the other, you won't really notice much of a difference. No. Again, if you've got one foot which is a whole size bigger than the other, the most logical thing to do would probably to try on the half size inwards. Let's say one foot's a 9, one foot's a 10.
Okay.
Try on the 9.5. That could be an option. But I think you're only kind of half a size out really to a degree. So and because you put you in a wider width as well, I think that's definitely kind of helping. So I think to me that they feel pretty good. You kind of knuckles in the right place in the shoe here. You're in line with the flex zone here. So if you kind of just go up onto your toes for me. Yep, you can see you've not got much kind of, you've got some natural kind of creasing here. That's not bunching at the sides. No, you're creasing in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
But I think that's a good size.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. No worries. Okay.
It's been a pleasure.